Thanks, Sean. Hi, Adam.
Hi.
So one of the challenges of this season was that potentially there wasn't going to be a lot of practice time. Now all of a sudden you have no games and you're practicing more than you thought. As a player, is it welcome to have the practice time, or are you kind of thinking like, oh man, now that we're practicing day after day, it's a little too much?
No, I think I mean it's been a lot of games. Like you said, we haven't had a lot of time to get some good practices in. So I think this time of the year, I think we can get a lot of things done in these couple practice days we got here. But obviously we want to play a game, so this was an unfortunate event that happened with the Montreal players. So, but I mean, practice is good for us right now, I think.
Thank you.
Marty Lindbergs, Globe and Mail.
Hi, Adam. I wanted to just ask you something. I mean, for years you played against Tyson Barrie and with him, and I'm wondering, since he's come to the Oilers, is there, what have you seen in his growth?
I mean, we all knew that he was a high offensive guy, and I think he's been showing that. But I think he brings a lot more to the table. He gets a lot of heat for his defensive side, but I don't think it is. I mean, it's not as bad as people think it is. So I mean, he's a very, very good defenseman in this league, and he's been showing it this year, especially. But he's been known for his offensive side for years. So he fits our team like a glove.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Adam, your good friend Oscar is having a surgery, I believe, tomorrow. Are there any plans from the team to send him good wishes, or are you on Zoom with him, or how are you managing to correspond with Oscar?
Well, I talk to him pretty much every day. Seems to be in good spirit. I think a surgery is something he would wanted to have done for quite some time now. So I think he's happy to be over here, and hopefully we'll see him around the locker room in a bit.
Anytime a player has major surgery, I guess, I don't know if you've had it, but I presume there's some nervousness because you're going in there and saying, okay, I want this problem solved and fixed, and so I can get back and play. But is that probably the case with all athletes?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody wants to play as long as they can. So whatever Clef decides to do, I mean, we all support him in his choice. But I mean, it's to have to take that decision when you're 27, 28 years old. It's a tough one to make. So I think for him, it's just taking a step by step, and now hoping that the surgery goes well and kind of go from there.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Adam, I have to ask you about the situation with Tim Peel. As a player, do you ever find that there's is makeup calls just part of hockey? What's your thoughts on what the Tim Peel situation has unfolded with today?
Well, probably a little bit, but I mean it shouldn't be. But I mean it's unfortunate that something like this happens, but I mean, everybody does mistakes. Everybody, it's not perfect. So I mean, he made a mistake, but unfortunately, you don't want, in my opinion, you don't want makeup calls to be part of the game. I don't think it's right. I think if it's an obvious one, and I don't think it should be made up for. So that's just my opinion, but. No one is perfect. Everybody does mistakes, and it's just how it is.
Overall, do you think, like most games that you played in your career, you don't find it's that big of an issue, or do you think makeup calls are a big issue?
I mean, it's rare that a player agrees on a penalty. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. So whatever that's makeup or not, it's a tough one for me to call. But I will never agree on the penalty I take, that's for sure. But I think every player is just the same way. I mean, there's some obvious ones, but for the most part, I mean, it's up to the ref, and it's nothing you can really do about it.
Jack Michael, 630 Chad.
Adam, a week or so ago, Dave Tippett passed 100 games as an Oilers head coach. I'm wondering, in your opinion, what has he done for the team? And has he done anything for your own game in particular?
Yeah, I mean, he's been great. I mean, I think he fits this team perfect. The way he communicates with the players, the system he has in place is very clear and strict. So it's for me, it's the role I have. It's pretty black and white, which I appreciate. He made it pretty clear for me what he expects and what he wants from me. So, and I think the whole team is kind of in a good spot with him as a leader.
Do you feel as though you're playing the best hockey of your career?
No. I mean, I still think there is places to grow. Certain areas in the game that I can get a lot better in. But yeah, I mean, I feel good, feel healthy. That's a big key for me.
John Lou, TSN.
Hi, Adam. Just getting back to the question or the subject matter that Jason was touching upon. What would you like to see the league do moving forward to address the issue of game management in light of its decision about Tim Peel?
Well, I mean, it's so out of my reach. That's something the league has to deal with. That's not a question I'll sit here and preach about. It's so far out of my reach.
Say the league does address the issue, and the hockey world puts a microscope on the league as a result of that. Do you believe that superstars like Connor or Leon might benefit from a more stringent measure or standard of officiating where the rule book is called more stringently?
Well, I mean, probably. I think Connor doesn't get as much calls as he should be, but I mean, it's all the other teams probably sit there and say the same thing about their star players. I mean, it's such a tough topic to go into. I mean, it's like I said before, some calls you agree with, some calls you don't. So it's, I mean, whatever they do moving forward, I'm sure we'll be on the same page.
Rob Kichkowski, Post Media.
Hey Adam, as players, you want to stay in a groove. So I'm just wondering what the balance is here between, getting a little bit of rest and getting a little bit of practice time versus sitting idle for so long and then knowing that at some point in the season you're going to have to fly back to Montreal and probably play 3 games in 4 days. I
mean, we would like to play as often as we can. I mean, it's that time of the year, it's that type of a season. So we're geared up for a tough season, tough schedule, tough travel. So, I mean, we're ready wherever they throw at us. I mean, we knew this type of thing would happen at some point throughout the year. So it's kind of not expected, but we knew it was going to happen at some point.
What is the, normally a week off in Montreal would be pretty sweet, but for you guys, what's the day-to-day life like and just coping with the boredom and, not having a morning skate or even a game to go to?
Yeah, it's for sure different. I mean, we're kind of lucky we have these practice days. You get out of your room a little bit. Other than that, it's not a whole lot. It's a little bit of ping pong, a lot of TV shows, whatever it might be. So but it's good. I mean, as a team, I think we got a lot closer this year. We spent a lot of time together at the rink, or you're pretty much with the team the whole time on the road. So it's I think it's nice and it's good for us.
Final question, Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Adam, I have to ask you, your contract's up at the end of the year. Have you had any talks, or your agent had any talks with Ken Holland on perhaps getting a new deal?
You know what? I haven't heard a whole lot. That's something my agent's dealing with. So we'll see. We'll see what the future brings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.